In fashion, where endless symbolism, shallow trends, and empty marketing tricks drive the price, genuine things still exist. Things worth your money and your attention. True luxury isn't about owning a bag worth tens of thousands acquired by meticulously hoarding trash cans and blanks just to score one, nor is about dining at the fanciest restaurants with zero knowledge of gastronomy. It's about knowing the real value of money, spotting overpriced junk for what it is, and choosing not to buy it, not out of poverty, but out of privilege. The real embarrassment isn't passing on that designer bag, the embarrassment is buying it just to look wealthy in the eyes of sales associate. True luxury is knowledge, taste, and knowing exactly what you're paying for. Today we'll step into the slang and word of true quiet luxury. People you probably couldn't spot on the street. They don't fit the hyped up image of beige and grey tones, mandatory polos and loafers that you see everywhere as quiet luxury. My name is Anastasia, and today I walk you through the professional jargon that real connoisseurs actually use, the concept they rely on when deciding whether a piece is worth owning, worth living with, worth growing old alongside. Three terms, three different worlds, and one shared standard of value. Let's start with patina. Patina is a thin layer that forms on a surface like metal, wood, stone, or leather due to environmental exposure. On leather, it becomes perhaps the most intimate example of how person, material, and time intertwine, not just wear, but a visible sign of quality, craftsmanship, and character. On genuine leather, patina marks as a noble transformation. The material reacts to daily use and its surroundings, gaining depth, subtle variation, and a lift in richness. Over the years, well-cared for items grow more beautiful as the patina deepens. True connoisseurs notice patina because it tells the story of an item and the care it has received. Usually, when evaluating a potential leather purchase, we imagine how beautifully the patina will develop on it. Or we can assess the quality of the leather simply by looking at the person sitting across from us. Now, in an era where vegan leather is everywhere pretending to be the real thing, patina has nothing to do with it. Unlike natural leather, it may fade or crack, but it can never develop true patina. Why? Genuine patina forms through microreaction within the natural fibers of leather. Air, light, moisture, skin oils, and friction gradually reshape the collagen structure, adding depth, warmth, and unique color shifts. Artificial leather, typically PVC, polyurethane, or other synthetic polymers, lacks those natural fibers and reactive proteins, so it can no undergo the same chemical and physical changes. Hence, no real patina. Take this brownie box, almost 10 years old. Look at this beautiful, noble patina. Patina teaches us one important skill, one that is rare in today's world, accepting the inevitability of change. Things age, we age, but aging is not the same as falling apart. If an item is made with love and quality, and if it has found its owner, time transforms it from a simple utilitarian object into a keeper of memories, into an artifact. So when you buy a high quality leather item, note this. You are not buying a thing, you are buying a future family heirloom, or at the very least, a diary that you will write with your own hands every single day. From the patina that trackers time on leather, we now turn to fabric. Meet Selvedge, the cornerstone for denim addicts, what millions of denim heads around the world chase after. Selvedge or self-edge, the tightly woven finished edge of a fabric that naturally prevents unraveling. It's most often discussed in denim, but the same applies to other high-quality woven fabrics. Besides being aesthetically pleasing, the self-edge adds durability and, in generally, though not always, a sign of higher quality. Historically, selvedge became prominent in the late 19th and early 20th centuries when Levi's and Lee produced jeans on old shuttle looms. These looms wove fabric slowly and narrowly, passing the weft thread back and forth. As a result, the edge automatically came out closed and resistant to fraying, not as a decorative feature, but as a structural necessity. Today, mass production uses modern projectile or air-jet looms that work many times faster and produce white fabric, but they cut the thread at the edges, leaving a raw edge that requires additional finishing, usually overlocking. What was once a technical quirk of old machines has since been redefined as a mark of quality and craftsmanship. Simply put, selvedge didn't disappear because it became useless. It disappeared because the industry prioritizes speed, volume, and cost. Shuttle looms are slow, expensive to maintain, and produce less fabric, so they are almost completely pushed out. Despite its niche nature, the world of Selvedge offers deep rabbit holes to explore. The phenomenon of its revival, how an obsolete mechanical feature transformed into a tribute to traditional and mastering denim, deserves its own video. Who revived it, how, and why? How did they shape the culture around it? Stick around on the channel to be among the first to dive into this fascinating story. Real durability in denim depends on the fabric itself and many other nuances, not just selvage. So I wouldn't elevate selvage as the ultimate marker of quality jeans. Take me for example. I'm a fan of Jakob Koren jeans, and most of their jeans are non-selvage. Only once did I get lucky enough to come across a selvage pair. And I say lucky because for me, selvage is more about paying tribute to old school denim traditions, not about superior quality. It's a nod to history, not a holy grail, but it warms the soul to have selvage in your collection. And last but not least for today, let's talk about Bespoke. If patina is a dialogue between an object and time, then Bespoke is a dialogue between an object and the person. It's the highest league of craftsmanship, where the measure of all things isn't a measuring tape or even just the client's wallet, but their body, habits, and character. The term bespoke comes from the verb to be spoken for and originated in the tailoring houses of Savile Row in London. When a gentleman needed a suit, he would visit his tailor and bespeak the clothes, literally talk about or order the fabric. This wasn't a transaction, it was an act of bringing an idea to life. The tailor didn't ask what's your size, because size as an abstract constant didn't really exist. Instead he asked, how do you wear your jacket? Which hand do you hold your umbrella with? Do you have a habit of keeping your hands in your pockets? Bespoke begins where concept of standard ends. In mass market retail, you adjust yourself to fit the garment. In Bespoke, the garment is adjusted to fit you. You stop being an abstract size 42 and become a unique, unrepeatable coordinate system yourself. You might ask what the difference between bespoke and made to measure. Beyond the multi-step process and meticulous attention to detail, the real distinction lies in philosophy and respect for materials. Made to measure adapts a standard pattern to your measurements. While it can achieve a good fit, the tailor may lack the experience to work with delicate or luxurious fabrics. Without proper knowledge, there are risks of damaging the material or failing to bring out its full potential. Bespoke, on the other hand, is completely custom from the ground up: measurements, pattern creation, cutting, hand sewing, multiply fittings. But more than that, it's a culture of deep material respect. A true bespoke tailor would never use polyester for trouser pocket linings. They will choose silk or at the very least high quality viscose. They understand the value of the finest wools, like Loro Piana Super 200s, and will hold Vicuña wool in their hands with pure delight. For certain masters who live and breathe their craft, working with these materials is a genuine pleasure and a fresh adventure each time, a hands-on experience full of subtle discoveries. This is something I deeply understand from my background in creating knitting clothing, because in nearly 10 years, there hasn't been a single day when touching cashmere felt boring. Returning to our main theme, patina and time, bespoke culture offers a radical ethic of consumption. It's the highest form of protest against planned obsolescence, upon which the modern economy is built. A bespoke garment is created with an eye toward eternity and repairability. A classic Savile Row jacket or a pair of Northampton shoes is designed so that it can be remade, relined, resold. They have no expiration date. Their life is limited only by your life or your will. When you become a bespoke client, you enter into symbiosis with the master. This is not a money for a goods transaction, it's a relationship that lasts for years. The master will remember your order history, knows how your body has changed, what fabrics you preferred 10 years ago. He becomes the guardian of your style. If patina teaches us to embrace inevitable change, then bespoke teaches us not to settle for compromises at the very beginning of the journey. In a world where everything is averaged out for profit, bespoke remains the last bastion of exclusivity, measured not by price, but the degree of attention paid to your uniqueness. True luxury in the end is not about price tags or shiny logos, and not in the endless, geometrically expanding symbolism that marketing tries to sell you. For true connoisseurs, the essence lies not in the wrapper but in the what's inside, the craft, the knowledge, the functionality. What sets you apart is not possession but perception, the ability to recognize patina, to see selvage, to understand why bespoke matters. And the difference is profound. You'll carry your piece with a quiet smile, knowing how much effort and artistry went into it, not with a dark smirk, feeling privileged only because others might envy you. Life's too short for that, far too precious to waste on cheap displays. Real luxury is not noise, but nuance, not chasing status, but cultivating an inner drive to learn, to discern, to appreciate. That, more than any facade, is the quiet privilege of those who truly understand. My name is Anastasia. Thank you for watching. Until the next time.